I'm Ciro Ciampi, Petrolheadonism Club UK, and I run car shows, events, and just get involved in the automotive scene. I became a petrolhead as a young boy. Not only did I have posters on my wall in my bedroom of the Countach, the Testarossa, but my uncle Angelo and my granddad, Nonno Umberto Zanna, would be mini racing at weekends, and my granddad would take me to his garage, AZ Mini Motors. And at a young age, I was around that smell, the feel, the vibrations, the noise, everything about cars. It was just my first kind of interaction with motorsport. I just loved it and I felt at home. I now own a stunning Lamborghini Murcielago Manual. It's always been the dream car. The Murcielago, and this particular Murcielago, is extremely special to me on a personal level. About 7-8 years ago, my friend Sandy from Sandy down the road had this car, this actual car, and I had a 348 Ferrari. He wanted to drive the 348, I wanted to drive the Mercy, so we kind of swapped and we did some driving together. It was an experience to drive that car, but then when this same car came up on this auction website, I knew this car was the one. What particularly drew me to the Murcielago as a model within the Lamborghini brand is V12. All the Aventadors were e-gear, flappy paddles. For me, having a manual V12, there's nothing like it. And the experience, every time you drive it, is an occasion. And to have that when you look back at a car, when you've parked it up, whether it's the front or the rear, for me the rear of this, the pipes on the back of it are astonishing. Like this model, the pre-LP, the 6.2 litre V12 is just so clean. The shape of it is phenomenal. And so every aspect of it, even when you're sat in it, how wide it is, and when you're looking out of the windscreen, like the feeling it gives you. This one has Larini cats and a Tubi exhaust. It sounds phenomenal on the outside and the inside, and you feel the vibrations going through you. And that's where I'm not a lover of electric cars. I find they're soulless, because when you go from that extreme to a Lamborghini, it's just, there's poles apart. You're like on a different planet, you're in a different world. This is phenomenal. We were fortunate to buy a Lamborghini Gallardo in 2009 as a family, and it was really a jewel in the crown for our business at the time, the Shamrock Hotel, which hosted car shows. We started things out with the Bedfordshire Italian Car and Bike Day. I always had the number plate UFO Bull, £250 from DVLA registrations through reg transfers. I wanted to put that on a car. I bought an Aventador, a Viola Ophelia, and again, over that year that I had the Aventador, full body kit, full custom everything, wheels by West Forge. After 10,000 miles, she caught fire. There's literally no words right now. There's nothing I can do. And for me, that was one of the most devastating things that could ever possibly happen. Ultimately, the Murcielago was always the car I wanted. I had a break from Lamborghinis because of the fire and the subsequent car. Had the engine blow up after 2 weeks. I kind of gave up. My wife said, that's enough now. You've had a car catch fire. May 2023, I had the opportunity to buy a manual Gallardo. I had to snap it up because I was like without a Lambo for a little while. And I'm Lamborghini Club Secretary. I'm in the supercar scene. I needed to have a Lambo in my garage. 2 months later, this car comes up on an auction website, and I knew the car. A friend of mine had owned it previously, 7-8 years ago. It was a dream to be able to buy it. For me, the relationship I have with Lamborghini, with Valentino Balboni, with Fabio Lamborghini, with the brand as a child and as I grew up, the Murcielago has always been the attainable dream Lamborghini. I drove a friend's Countach to Belgium and back, and that was one of the most epic drives of my life. I think I love all Lamborghinis. They have a certain edge over Ferrari, who I find are refined and beautiful, but not, as my friends would say, the bally, the thrill, the theatrical madness of a Lamborghini. But the Murcielago for me is the epitome of everything. And if I keep this car for the rest of my life, I'll be very happy. But where are we? We're in 2024, and in the last 2 to 3 years, the Murcielago itself as a model has come into that modern classic age where You have Ed Bolian, who's a Lamborghini aficionado, known globally for VinWiki. And at one point, when we visited him a couple of years ago, he had 3 Murcielagos. I drove his SV, Scott Ratarossa drove the Roadster, and Ed drove his manual 640. Matt Armstrong recently built one on his channel, and it's one of the cars that really propelled his channel to the next level. And again, it's the Murcielago manual. DDE have a Murcielago. Tavares bought the Fast and Furious Murcielago that went into the ice, and he built that, and that propelled his channel. The Mercy, as we tenderly know it, has become one of those modern classics where they're just on the rise. And yet the Aventador, the Huracan have become so production model led numbers wise. There's so many of them. I think the Murcielago was at that forefront when Audi took over Lamborghini, which was German engineering coming together with Italian design and just taking the reliability of the cars to another level. They're phenomenal cars, but the thing about the Murcielago, I believe, especially with the manuals, is they're of a bygone era. So in 2016, I was diagnosed with depression, and for me being an optimistic, outgoing, positive person, it's like, what the hell, that hit me like a lorry, because I didn't know what stress or depression was, and it affected me such a way. And my wife held my hand and said, look, you've got to do something you enjoy. If this isn't right anymore, find something. And it was a real moment to take a look back at everything. Then COVID hit, and that was a moment where they say you hit the reset button, and my mind started changing. Petrolheadonism was born in 2017 as an umbrella brand for all the car shows we hosted at the Schaumburg Hotel. But then coming out of COVID, we started collaborating with Tucked Automotive and different car clubs. Petrolheadonism became, what I wanted it to be, was a community. It didn't have to be at the Schaumburg Hotel, it could be anywhere. And then we started building our ambassador program and the car events, and now we're hosting events all over the UK, and now we're doing an event in Florida in December. And I'm working with the government to host an event on their island. And it's people like Continental Car Club that when they reach out and want to work together and collaborate, it's just part of the community that we're building. We are so lucky to be branded with Auto Finesse, EBC Brakes, Motul, just to name a few. When you get some young guys like Continental Car Club reach out to you that want to work with you, and it just means so much to me, as Petrolheadonism is a community that keeps building, and the next 12 months is going to see that growth just explode. I know these 3 guys behind the camera right now, for instance, they just love cars and want to be working in cars. For me, when I was 35, I just wanted to work in cars. I never knew how it was going to happen, and I've forged this unique position where I'm organising car shows, I'm bringing content creators together with brands, and I'm kind of sitting here also collaborating with other big car shows like the British Motor Show, and working with venues like the British Motor Museum, and that makes me really proud that they trust their brands in me and we can work together. So Petrolheadonism is a community, first and foremost.
A servant gathering through temptation, all religion is